Hi, this is Michelle. I'm back again on the Catholic Family Podcast, and I wanted to talk today about a particular cross that I have been dealing with. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining. I have a beautiful, wonderful life. I have a house that is very, very functional and very cute, and a beautiful family that is mostly healthy most of the time. I have an awesome husband who works very hard and provides for us and is always there for me. I have the Catholic faith. I have my family who is all Catholic. I have great friends. I live in a wonderful area. So that being said, I have a very blessed life. However, everyone goes through difficulties and everyone has crosses, and obviously that is part of being Catholic and honestly part of being human. So my cross lately have been mice. They have infested our kitchen, and I think that we have gotten rid of them, but it was very stressful. I think we caught at least 7, if not 8. I don't know. I lost track. But I really, really can't stand mice. I think rats and mice are literally one of my worst fears, and it may be a somewhat irrational fear, but it is still a very, very great fear of mine. So a little bit of background on why I hate mice and rats. So we used to live in California, and that was before we had as many kids. We lived there when we were first married, and we had 2 children in California, and I also lived there for a while before we got married. My husband's from California, and my brother and my grandparents used to live out there, so yeah, it was a home for me for a while, and it was nice. We lived in the desert, and that kind of had its downsides and its upsides. But one of the downsides was that we lived in a little mobile home, and it was honestly a great first home. It was 3 bedroom, 2 bathrooms. So honestly, I think it was bigger than the house we live in now. Sorry. And it was just the perfect thing for a growing family, but it was a mobile home. And one year we had rats. Like, I'm not talking little mice that scurry across the floor. I'm talking like huge, disgusting Templeton rats. And it was horrifying. So we had this one rat who took up residency in our mobile home, and he was huge, and every day he would find new ways to torment me. One day I found him up on our table, and he had knocked over a vase of flowers and had drank some of the water out of the flowers and was just up on the table. And then another time I literally got trapped in the bathroom with this rat. So I had gone to the bathroom, and then this rat had found its way in, and it was like between me and the door, so I had to jump up on the toilet, and I was like screaming, and my husband came in with like a broom and was trying to whack it, and it was like a nightmare. I was horrified for a very long while after that. And then it would literally like get stuck. We had these sticky traps, and it would get stuck on one of the sticky traps, and it was so big it would somehow manage to crawl its way over on the sticky trap to a wall, and then it would get off the sticky trap and escape. And the next morning we would find little pieces of hair in the sticky trap after he had gotten off. So anyways, we finally were able to trap it in the dryer, and then we brought the dryer out into the garage, and our dog was finally able to kill it, and I don't remember, I think he might have eaten it. So we got rid of that rat, but ever since I have been disgusted and horrified of rats and mice. So fast forward to this last week, we started catching them, and it was right after Easter. So we had all of our Easter candy, and I had made these little Oreo balls and had them out on the counter because it was like a day or two after Easter. And my husband was like, oh yeah, you probably better want to throw out that candy because I think a mice has been getting into it. And lo and behold, I looked at it and there were little bites taken out of the top. So yeah, the mouse had been up on my counter in my Easter candy. So needless to say, I threw it away, which was sad, but I don't know. I guess maybe it was for the better. But that was pretty disgusting. I had to throw out all my Easter candy. And then we found it up on the counter again. I went into the kitchen and I saw a little mouse scurrying on the counter and back down behind the fridge. So it was about 3 to 4 days where we just kept continually catching mice. And yeah, I think we got, like I said, 7 or 8. So I have been having like anxiety because of these mice, and I've been like jumping at everything because I just feel like I see a mouse out of the corner of my eye. And anyways, that has been happening. And also my kids have been battling some kind of weird virus lately. One of my girls has strep and a rash that comes with strep, and so it's kind of been this sickness that's been lingering, and I've been trying to figure out what to do about it. And I mean, I'm sure most of you know how it is with sick kids. You just literally can't get much done. You're kind of there with your hands tied behind your back. You know, you're holding one of your kids and you're trying to make dinner and one of them's crying and you're trying to give another one a bath, and it's just, you know, how it goes, just the old parenting troubles. But I wanted to say, with all of this happening, I always remember this one chapter that I read in a book, and the book is called Loving the Little Years, and I think it's by Janet Yankovic or something, or no, I don't remember. That's Weird Al's last name, sorry. I forget. I'll have to maybe comment with the name of it. And it's not strictly Catholic. It's not written by a Catholic. However, it is very good if you have several small children. So this book talks about how a lot of times when you're a mom, and especially when you're a mom with a lot of kids and a lot of struggles, it's good to realize when you are in the trenches. So everyone goes through it. Everyone hits a low point. And it's really important that you acknowledge that you're at your low point. You are in the trenches. You are at your breaking point, possibly. And it's really good to try and accept it. So you don't want to linger in the trenches, but you want to accept it and acknowledge it and just say, okay, we are at this point. My kids are sick. There are mice in our house. I am tired. I am not feeling very happy at this moment. And I am accepting that this is my state in life right now. And I am not going to try and be the happiest, most cheerful, perfect mom at this moment, because I am literally trying to survive. So that being said, it's also important, after you acknowledge that you are in the trenches, that you try and get out of the trenches. You try and figure out how you are going to get to where you want to be again. Because honestly, I am not at my best when my kids are sick and when there are mice in my house. And a lot of my high ideals and my expectations that I have of myself honestly kind of go down the toilet, because I am just living in the moment, trying to survive the day. And if I can survive the day without going crazy, then that's a success. But that is not my life. My life is not living in survival mode. My life is not trying to get to the end of the day. That is not the big picture. My big picture is that I want to be the best possible mom for my kids. I want to live a good life. I want to be a good Catholic. I want to inspire others around me. I want to be a good wife. And I have a lot of work to do. I know that there are always struggles and always crosses and hardships. But when you are in the trenches, that is not all possible. So even though you have high ideals and high goals and high expectations, do not try to fulfill them while you are at your low point. Get a good night's sleep. Watch something funny. Drink a glass of wine. I don't know, but just survive. And then tomorrow, get up, say your morning prayers, offer your day to God, and try to get out of the trenches. And it might take a while. It might take a couple days. Hopefully it doesn't take longer than that. But once you are out of the trenches, that is when you can start trying to really live your best life. And I'm not saying that you should just give up either. I mean, obviously, when we're having struggles, we need to keep going and we need to push on and pray through it and obviously not give up. But give yourself some grace. Cut yourself some slack. You can get through it, but it may not be glamorous. There may be mice in your counter. There may be throw up on your floor. But it won't always be like that. You will have better days. There will be a light at the end of your tunnel. So I'm kind of going to close there. I was thinking I would probably go through a couple other things from that book because it is really good. And I hope that everyone is having a good week, and I hope to be back soon. All right, goodbye.